G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. So, when I logged in today to the program that I'm using is StreamYard. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with it, but I do all my recording on StreamYard, podcasts, stuff like that. Pretty much everything I do on YouTube at the moment is my go-to is StreamYard. I logged in today, and you can see down, if I can point in the right direction, there, here, or is it there? Somewhere there, right? You can see there where it says my name, Mark. Steelers Oz in brackets. Of course, you know who I am anyway. But there's a new thing that I found that you can do. So you can apparently add your title. Like if you were a doctor, maybe you were in a Zoom meeting. You were a teacher. I don't know. You're a sports coach. You're a college football teacher. I don't know. Offensive coordinator. If we were lucky enough to get Matt Canada into this podcast. If Matt Canada came on, he would have Matt Canada, offensive coordinator. If we were to have Mike Tomlin in here, head coach. So I've labeled myself the president of Hooly Dooly University. So I thank you guys who are members of the channel Steel Nation Australia membership. There's about 12 of you guys there, and a lot of you guys are the long formation or the tier 4, which is Hooly Dooly. So I appreciate that. So just mucking around. It looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool though. But you can have a title, you can have your name, and now a title. I don't know how long that will stay there. I just thought it was funny. I'm super wrecked from playing pickleball, and I wanted to talk Steelers, and here we are. It's my 4 p.m. This will come out tomorrow morning. So hopefully you guys made it that far. Anyways, today I want to talk about, I've seen some videos from other content creators talking about Mason Rudolph, right? And I think we're all pretty much in a big agreement now. Most Steelers fans are thinking that Mason Rudolph is most likely going to be gone. I think, and that's going to be to his doing, that he's a free agent. He's going to look for other teams, which might be, quarterback number 1 or quarterback number 2. But I feel like that with the comments that I've seen around the internet the last few weeks to a month over the time of Mason Rudolph, and of course, not even playing Mason Rudolph at all, where the debacle where it started from, he was labeled number 2, Kenny Pickett was number 3. He was meant to be back up behind Trubisky. There was a clinical error. He got dropped to 3, and we never saw him the whole season. Now, in my opinion, I believe they never really gave Mason Rudolph a big chance to do anything. Of course, he came in from 2018. Big Ben was around. He never got a chance to start. He's only played backups, and he played in that year where it was Mason and Duck. He's had a pretty hard go in the NFL when you think about it, from the incident with Myles Garrett to apparently the racial slur that he said, and then getting hit with his own helmet, and then Earl Thomas too, the Raven knocking his socks off, the safety coming down and almost taking him almost out and concussed. So he's had a pretty hard go. Now, I'm not saying that Mason Rudolph is the best quarterback in the league, but I do wish him luck wherever he goes. Now, free agency is around the corner. Of course, we have Super Bowl coming up with the Eagles versus Chiefs. Once that's done, it's free agent time. It's draft time. And I believe that the Steelers will move on, or let Rudolph move on and try and find another team. And there are some other teams out there that possibly he might go to the Saints. He might go to the Colts. I don't know what the Texans are doing. Maybe he could be a backup to the Texans. I don't know. The Panthers. There are a few teams out there that might want to try and find him as quarterback number 1 or find him as quarterback number 2. Now, I was going through the internet and I found this article. So I will share this article in the description below. So shout out to SteelersWire.USA today. They're a good Steelers website. So I'm gonna read from their article. If you guys can see that on the screen, you definitely can. Sorry about the ads. So it says here from SteelersWire.com, no one should be surprised that Mason Rudolph won't come back to the Steelers. And this is by Curt Popejoy. So I will link the article in the description, give you guys a shout out for sure. This is all their work. I'm just basing my opinion off your work. Now, first of all, I think it's funny that the latest scuttlebutt, that's a funny word, around the Pittsburgh Steelers from multiple members of Pittsburgh Steelers media centers on quarterback Mason Rudolph. According to multiple sources, Rudolph has no plans to re-sign with the Steelers this offseason. And I don't think that really comes too much of a surprise when you think about it, right? I don't think that comes too much of a surprise. Mason Rudolph is entering, I think it's like his 4th, 2018, so that's fifth year in the NFL. he still has a chance possibly to become a starter for another team if he goes that direction. I don't think he's really had that chance with the Steelers. Of course, now Kenny Pickett's going to be quarterback number one. And I know you can only have 32 starters in the league, right? But there could be a chance he might go to a team like the Panthers, or they might pick him up and give him a shot. So he's not going to have that chance here to be backup. Now, right now, we have Mitchell Trubisky as backup. The Rooneys did say in an interview, or Aunt Rooney II said in an interview, that Trubisky is their guy for the moment, looking forward. So would Rudolph even sign back here to be quarterback number 3? I don't think so. I guess we can come to agreement that's going to happen. But I want to wish him all the luck. I really do. I'm not saying I'm going to cheer on Mason Rudolph. I'm going to follow his career, or I'm going to change teams. There's no way that's happening. But I do wish him the best of luck. So, because you know that he sat there for quarterback number 3 for pretty much the whole year. Right? He had the best seat in town. He did practices, did the meetings, but he never had to dress up on game day. So, it says here, I'm sure Rudolph felt like the Steelers weren't respectful of him as a player or a man, how the last season went. The team could have traded him before the deadline, allowing him an opportunity for a fresh start. Instead, they held on to him, costing him 1 year to prove himself. So there could be some animosity, some bit of bad blood on Rudolph's point. I don't think it really affects the Steelers too much. Yes, they did keep him. They kept him on the bench, and they never played him at all, right? But it also goes on to say here, with Mitchell Trubisky, potential cap casualty, will the Steelers regret not working harder with Rudolph to make him part of the plan? And that says, are you okay with the Steelers only returning with one quarterback from last season? So, yeah, thank you for Steelers Wire for that, and I will link that in the description. So that's the point, right? So if Mason Rudolph goes and finds another team, fantastic. I think it's good for him. I think it's good for the Steelers. But maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't do enough. Maybe they didn't do enough to keep him entertained and to keep him as backup. Maybe possibly they could have given him more reps or promised him quarterback number 2. But at the same time, the Steelers went out there and they bought into Mitchell Trubisky being their quarterback number 1, and they wanted him to succeed. That didn't happen, and they moved on to Kenny Pickett so fast, and that was the right decision. But the very start of the season in 2022, it didn't really go that way, right? We all thought that Trubisky was going to start. It fell to pieces. They went with Kenny. Therefore, you could never, ever, ever go back to Rudolph. And this wasn't going to happen. So they more or less kept him as like an emergency quarterback if things would have happened the way that it happened with the Niners. So with this case, I believe that Rudolph will leave the Steelers, and he's a free agent. He'll go and find another team. And that's going to leave another hole, isn't it? It's going to leave a hole at quarterback number 3. And also the case too is what happens then with Mitchell Trubisky? Do the Steelers cut him because they're paying him too much money to be quarterback number 2? Do they go into the draft and get a quarterback in round 6 or 7? Do they wait until the undrafted free agents to go and get a quarterback? And then, or do they bring in a veteran guy, possibly like a Josh Dobbs or Jacoby Brissett, Minshew Mania? Or the other day, my mate, Matty Peverill from Behind the Steel Curtain said Taylor Heineke. There are a lot of names out there, but I just want to wish Mason Rudolph the best of luck. And I will be watching his career too a little bit. I'll be watching his first start. If that's going to be in Indy or Carolina or the Saints, I'll be looking out going, hang on, did we miss something here? Now, of course, you can't really, pigeonhole that idea because you have Kenny Pickett and we have a young rookie. But you got to wish the guy all the best. Anyways, guys, just a quick little video about Mason Rudolph and his future. It should be exciting to watch to see where he goes. I'm not saying I'm going to turn to a Mason Rudolph fan, but I just feel like the Steelers did him unjust over the last few years, and they could have traded him away to another team last year, and now he's a free agent. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you think below. I'm Mark from Steeler Nation Australia, president of Hooley Dooley University. I'll see you later.